The next time you're in a garden center looking for a way to add color to your garden, you might think about what can a plant give me that's colorful all season long. There's plenty of plant material out there that has flowers, but flowers kind of come and they go. Sometimes a plant has lots of flowers, sometimes a plant has very few flowers. But a plant always has leaves. So the next time you think about color, think about what can a plant give me as far as color that has leaves all season. I think the traditional plant for leafy color is Coleus. And here we have a couple of Coleus right here out of hundreds that are out there. These are great plants. There are varieties for the sun, varieties for the shade, and these are going to give you continuous color throughout the season with just foliage. That would be the go-to plant. But how about getting away from the norm? Look at some of these other things that are out there. Look at this great plant right here. This is called an oxalis. Kind of looks like a three-leaf clover, if you will. Burgundy foliage, and it does flower white. This is a great container plant, especially on the patio. And what's neat about this thing is that the more sun it gets, the intense red just shines through. And what's curious about this plant is that when it gets cool or in evening hours, these leaves actually fold, so they perform. They kind of come up when it gets sunny and go down when it gets shady. So oxalis, a great colorful leafy plant. In the center here is a neat grouping of plants called Fuchsia. Now we always think of Fuchsia as a green leaf plant with these hanging pendulous flowers, but here are two varieties right here that have colorful foliage. This one's called Firecracker, this one's called Autumnalis, and basically it's a yellowish bronzy color. This one has pinks, reds, and greens in it. These also are great fuchsias for especially Midwestern gardens where it gets a little hot and humid. These will hold up very well. They do produce flowers, but they have colorful foliage, which adds to the overall display. Back here, one of the grasses. This is a fountain grass called Cherry Sparkler. And what's neat about this thing, it's just a low-growing, fine-leaf grass that has this pinks and greens and whites all mixed in. For a grass, you cannot beat the color here that you'll find. Over here is a grouping of plants that is just basically almost timeless. These are alternanthera. These have been used for centuries in gardens as foliage plants that they oftentimes used to clip as informal annual hedges, especially these varieties right here. But alternantheras give you a variety of colorful foliage from the pinks, the greens, the bronzes. Some of these are 6 to 8 inches tall. Some of them, like the Party Time over here, is basically one that gets rather tall, 2 to 3 feet. And you can see the colorful foliage varieties, and Party Time especially is kind of interesting because it doesn't know what it wants to do. It kind of goes from pink to green, all kinds of stuff. So alternantheras to think about. Back here, another very old foliage plant called Irisine. Has some rather curious common names called chicken gizzards, but this one right here is a rose. This one over here is lime, and these get rather tall, probably 2 feet tall, but again, colorful foliage. If you're looking for something that'll tolerate sun, dry conditions, great for container, this Ionium right here, called Tip Top, has kind of bronze tipped foliages and is a great plant again for hot, dry, sunny spots. And also, this is probably one of the plants that you can bring indoors at the end of the season and make a fairly decent house plant next to a bright sunny window. And finally on this table is the begonias. Begonias, especially the Rex types, are making a comeback in the garden world. We all know about the fibrous begonias that flower well and do an excellent job in the garden, but these Rex leaf types or fancy leaf types are starting to come back. This one right here is called Sophia, and it has huge wedge-shaped like leaves that are splotched with these silver markings. Again, an excellent plant for the semi-shaded garden, probably getting about 2 to 3 feet tall, will produce kind of whitish pink flowers for the garden or in the containers. When you think about color, think about other than flower color in the garden. Think about plants that give you colorful foliage that'll have color all season long.